Let's get it.
It's an absolutely gorgeous day here in the Carolinas once again, and we're so glad to see it. I do hope everyone is well and that you're able to get out and enjoy this day as I am. It is absolutely beautiful out today. We have the same wind or winds that we've had all week this week, and it's cooled off about 10 degrees. But nonetheless, it's a beautiful day. I did have a great thought that I wanted to share, and it's quite simple. And in my prayer time this morning, as I have been praying for our nation and the groups that I'm in and all of our families and the groups I'm in on Connect TV, the Most High is giving me scripts to pray over our people. And this morning he gave me 2 scripts, and it was Psalms 126 and 1 and Joshua 5 and 9. And Psalms 126 and 1 says, when Yahuah turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream. And once again, pardon the wind. And also, like I said, he gave me Joshua 5 and 9, pardon me. And Yahuah said unto Joshua, this day have I rolled away the reproach of Mitsrayim from off you, or Egypt from off you. Sometimes it is a lie. And like I said, he gave me them scripts to pray over our nation and the people in the groups that I'm in on Connect TV. Hebrew Connect TV, my bad. But I thought I'd go and share this word, this idea, this thought with what the Most High told me after I finished my prayers. And I must add one more script. 2 Chronicles 7 and 14. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and forgive their sins and will heal their land. And the idea and the thought he gave me was, if you turn and roll, I will roll and turn. If you turn and roll, I will roll and turn. And as we see in Psalm 126, he says, when Yahuah turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream. So basically he's saying he's turning our captivity. And in Joshua 5 and 9 he says, and Yahuah said to Joshua, this day have I rolled away your reproach, or the reproach of Egypt from off you. So he's saying he's going to roll the reproach of this present day Egypt off of us also. But he's saying, like it's read here in 2 Chronicles 7 and 14, if. See, the Most High put conditions on everything he does. He's an if God. He's an if Elohim. If you do, then I'll do. If my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and forgive their sins and will heal their land. Just like I thought he gave me a couple of days ago, the Most High loves but by principle. And see, this is another principle, or I forget the word, but I'll put it in the text. But it's basically saying, like I named this thought, if you turn and roll from your sins and turn back to me and pray, then I will roll and turn your captivity and the reproach that has been on you. And to be quite honest, the Most High was giving me the idea that he's already turned the reproach of Mitsrayim, or Egypt, his present day Egypt, from off of our people. And he's given us a sign with this trial going in the favor of the fellow that was killed, and the fellow found guilty of murder. And see, we saw before this a long string of, they wouldn't even try the folks, try the police officers that killed these guys, or these ladies and guys. Just like in the Rihanna case. But this is a sign that he's turning the reproach, because we're starting to cry out, and because we're starting to turn and roll away them sins out of our lives, and we're starting to pray. But are we done? No, emphatically no, because we still have a job to do as far as waking our people up to who they are and encouraging them to turn also and to seek the Most High's face. Okay, let's get it. was thinking about was prerequisite. That means there are some demands on what's going to be done ahead of time. And that's how the Most High is with His Word. He wants us to follow His orders the way He asks us to, so He can always do what He promises He's going to do for us, or promise what He's going to do for us. And this is no different from any great parent. They always put demands on their promises to us also. They like, if you clean your room and help around the house with your chores, then you'll get an allowance. Oh boy. That's a great thought. But if you don't do what I tell you, you're not going to get an allowance. That's a great word. Allow me to bless you. Allow me to take care of you. Allow me to pour out or open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing that you won't have room enough to receive. Hallelujah. So my encouraging thought or word for today would be to turn and roll and return to the Most High, so He can turn our captivity and roll away the reproach that has been on our people for well over 400 years. However, with that being said, in turning, it's going to cost you something. And this is the part where most folks cut off the recording. And say, I don't want to hear nothing else, Robert. Our people done paid their debt to the Most High as far as time. So that should do it. But I say emphatically, no, it doesn't. It's going to take some, look at them dogs. It's going to take more than that. It's going to take turning back to the Most High's laws, statutes, and commands. And you'll hear many of preacher folks saying that this walk with the Most High is not by works. And I'm tending to say you're right. It's not by works alone. Because, oh yeah, I had to come out here and check out this field. That's why I'm back over here at Revolution. I did get permission from the Most High. He said, go ahead, we'll go by there and see what it's like. And it is the bomb. I can feel the spring in my step from walking the field. But I thank the Most High for this, because it's a motivational factor as well as everything else in our lives. When we get something new, it's something to help motivate us. And see, that's what the new mind is. When Yahusha, when the word says, let this mind be in you, that was also in Yahushua HaMashiach. Because it's going to give you a new motivation, a new outlook. It's going to make new demands on you, yes. But at the end of the day, we're going to reap the rewards. Okay, let's get this next set. And you may have noticed that I said I asked the Most High if it was all right if we came out here today. Because even though I might have a desire to do something, that don't mean it's his desire for me for that day, or period. And that's how it is with the sin in our lives. And the Most High telling us that we have to turn, or that we must turn. Turn away from our own self-righteousness and our own desires, and turn to him to see what he thinks and to see what he wants, to see what his heart's desire is for us. Since we're his, right? Since we have, like our ancestors did at the foot of the mountain, took an oath to the Most High to follow his commands, or follow his commands, laws and statutes. However, they didn't follow through. But it's up to us to be the generation that will say, though you slay me, I will trust you till the end, till the end, till the end. Though you slay me, I will trust you till the end, till the end, till the end. Queen Hadessa, oh, though you slay me. though it looks ugly on the outside, the Most High is working a great work on the inside of us. And that's if we continue to yield to Him as the Most High in our lives. Okay, let's get this next set. tightening that strap ain't a good look on my beard, but it's a good look on safety. And we can't pray and ask for help, safety, if we don't do what we're supposed to do in keeping ourselves safe. Ooh, and that's a good word, good thought. We want the Most High to turn our captivity and roll away our reproach. Here in Egypt. But we don't want to do our part. Oh boy, it's true. And I've done left my chapstick. This wind blowing. What a day in the Carolinas. Absolutely gorgeous. When I was homeless, I used to sleep back up there in that cut. Thank the Most High where He's brought us from. And what brought me to my senses was one day I got caught in the rain. I had a tarp to lay on, so I tried to roll up in that tarp to keep from getting wet. But either my feet were gonna get wet or my head was gonna get wet. So I made up in my mind that day, Robert, you're gonna stop running from the Most High and do what He tell you to do. That this don't make no sense. And that hill goes on up through there to a nice little quiet place. To a nice quiet place where the Most High had to deal with me. And I thought that's where they was going to take the greenway, the walkway to this greenway, when they first started on it, or at least have a trail through there, because it would be a nice area to put a bench, I guess, and sit back there and listen to the birds, or listen to the Most High speaking to your spirit like I had to do. See, sometimes He has to sit you down. Like my Uncle Lord used to say, lay down and think about it. Sometimes the Most High has to sit you down and let you think about your situation. And think about His love and grace towards you. And that reminds me of a teaching I've heard. The fellow was saying, for some of us, the Most High's good graces is enough to get us to come on in and do right. But for others of us, you have to go through the shaking, the breaking, the pulling, the prying, the hard. It's just too hard here. say, not only do we don't want to listen, but we're not. And see, a lot of times that breaking is going to happen, no doubt, in ways that we're going to look at as being unfair and outright, what's the word, harsh. What I've learned is it's better that the Most High is harsh with you than your enemy, as we have learned in this last captivity. So he couldn't say when my people who are called by my name, because that would never happen. On the whole, he has to say if, which means some of us are going to get it when we choose right. However, most of us won't, because we're going to choose left, wrong. But that's okay. Can't always go with the crowd. Like the text says, wide is the way, wide is the gate, which leads to destruction, but narrow is the way which leadeth to eternal life. Means if my people who are called by my name humble themselves bet you this. I won't be leaving my chapstick no more. See, that's a great example of how the Most High has to deal with us. Simply to get his points across. See, he could have reminded me to get my chapstick. Before I left. But see, he likes proving points. Just like me putting his helmet on. I gotta put on my helmet of chapstick for these old lips. I have the most sensitive LL Cool J lips. I'm lying, there ain't no LL Cool J lips. Ain't Bobby Hollow lips. But they have a tendency to get a little chap in the elements. That's why I gotta lather them down with some of that good beeswax. And I'm not being sponsored by these fellas. However, a good product is a good product. Highly recommend Burt's Beeswax and that pomegranate flavor. Boy, talking about a great product. I've used it most of the winter, this winter, switching from chapstick, regular chapstick. It's just like when, just as we were talking earlier, how the Most High take you through some things, or he'll allow you to go through some things which we take ourselves through. We get a taste in our mouths. Hey, we can't seem to get out. And that's the learning process. Just like the old saying, you're gonna learn today. That's what teaches us more than anything else. Not our parents telling us, don't do this or don't do that. It's when they say, okay, go and do what you do. I can't stop you. But you're gonna learn. How you doing, man? Can I ask you something? Can I ask you something? Have you heard that the black people are the Hebrews? The real Hebrews from the Bible. The black people. The real Hebrews of the Bible. Have you heard that?
I think I've heard.
From people screaming on the streets? Mm-hmm. Okay. Just nosy, bro. Have a good one. See, the Most High works in peculiar ways. See, when I first approached that brother, I saw him when I was tightening up my shoe walk back by. The Most High said, I want you to approach him. So I said, okay, what am I going to say in my mind now? Because I was still talking to y'all. And And basically he was like, we'll see. Or you will see. How y'all? Great. So when I came up on him, he was just like asking the question. Because you see, it's not up to me to question the Most High's methods. I know I hear his voice, so I'm going to say what he tells me to say. And as that fellow said, he's heard of such things. And it's important to notice, or to take and make note of what people are really saying. When you talk to them. It's called intentional listening, and I know that's not the exact word, but that's the meaning of what I'm trying to say. But he said, oh yeah, I heard of that. So I left it. I started to come back and say, which I did say, you heard him on the streets hollering and screaming, right? And he nodded his head, yeah. So I left it at that. See, that's going to cause that young man to start thinking. First, he going to ask himself, why did this joker stop me and ask me that question? And the approach was so humble, the way I approached him. I didn't approach him out of pocket, like he's saying other Hebrews doing folks, maybe on YouTube or even out on the streets. However, it's not my business who, what, or how he's heard about the Hebrews, but that he heard them from me, asking just a simple question. And see, the rest is up to the Most High. Because a lot of times, what we're doing is not only planting and or watering, we're pulling up the weeds. Saying, okay, I know you heard about us, or about your own identity, but you may have heard about your identity from a source that may have left that bad taste in your mouth that we was just talking about. What a ride.